Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be discussing how me and my brother made this figure. If you guys don't know this guy, his name is Gray Fox. He's from Metal Gear Solid 1. He doesn't come back because a certain something happens to him that ends everybody. Well, also on the topic of me and my brother, the next custom I won't have to be saying that because we're going to the next because we're going to be making separate customs, which will be kind of a challenge because I'm used to having him by my side when I'm like making it. He's like my side dude, second dude, I don't know, second command, I don't know what I should use for wording, but I just want to let you guys know that. And before we start, I got some questions. Do you guys want me like review normal figures? Like, for example, review Gambit or anything like that? I asked a question, like a poll, and I think I got one response, but it might be somebody I know, so I want like other people telling me if they want that or not. And also, if you guys like hear clicking or anything, it's because I'm going to be looking at pictures so I can tell you, explain stuff when I'm describing how I made this, which hopefully the editor will add in the video. Okay, so why did I make this guy? First of all, I like his character. He's a pretty cool dude. From what I remember, he's like the only dude to adorn the name Fox in the Foxhound unit. And he's like really close to Big Boss. Some of you guys don't know what the heck I'm talking about, which is okay. But this is some Metal Gear Solid stuff. And also, somebody really close to me lost a couple of their figures, which I'm using in this custom. So, the figures they lost I'm using this custom is the Yamaguchi Spider-Man, the Yamaguchi Arkham Batman. And they like had a casualty that caused their figures to be destroyed. And the third reason is I wanted like a really challenging figure that I would spend a couple months on, just like increase my ability of customization. And I'd have to admit, it definitely did that. Like, I'm much better at sculpting. I'm not gonna get like those clumpy looks as clumpy, or hopefully none at all, as my past figures. And the paint job on these figures are much more cleaner. Okay, now we get into how I made Gray Fox. Okay, so the base body we used. Actually this would be an easier way. All this, that's the Yamaguchi 2.0 Spider-Man. The rest is Yamaguchi Arkham Batman. If you wonder how I got those figures and how I lobotomized them, that individual was close to me. He gave me those parts because he knew I was like a customizer and stuff, or like a beginner customizer, because that's what I am. I haven't been in the space for too long because I take a lot of breaks, and I'm kind of new to this. Started like about 1 year ago, but he knew that, and so we had to start from that, and it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted like a blank slate. So I put my brother through the torture of sanding all that to give me that blank slate. However, this caused some pain to myself because I had to sculpt a lot. But let's start with what I sculpted first, his head. So how I did that, it was basically like layers. I first started with like a flat layer of his head, so the images will show you. I don't know how to describe it. And yeah, it was just layering up. At first, I didn't have like this. Did you see the red? I had it like inward his head. So I figured out that was a bad idea and made his eyes look his eyes look strange. So I filled it in. And I think that was amazing. Like a good idea. because it looks better than what it would have looked like. And yeah, that was the first thing. The second thing, this torso. So basically, a lot of this torso remained the same, but I changed a few stuff. So basically what I changed, this had a previous design where instead of the nukes being on the side, it was on the top. And these were like, the sides were less sharp, which I want this figure to be really sharp. So I didn't like that. I did it and realized this would be a better design than what I previously had. I'm going to show you the back, by the way, so don't worry. Yeah, this was the same. I added this though, just to give it like more connection to this neck, and it worked pretty well. And I also, originally I didn't have the ribs, so I added that. And besides the chest flaps being changed, I changed the abs because they're really flat. And they didn't look as accurate as these ones. I used the Metal Gear Rising design for these. So basically the designs I used for this guy, so I don't forget to say it, I'm going to say it now. I want him to look more like the original design. Wait, center him. I want him to look like more of the original than the Metal Gear Rising design, but I took a couple of inspirations from him. I'm pretty sure I took like the leg design, unless yeah. Even though he did have it on the original one, but I more so took it from the newer one because it was like more protrusive, and I needed that design. Because his arms would have looked too big. Okay, now let me talk about the rest of the body before I keep on this tangent. If it's really a tangent. Okay. And so, previous to his shoulders being this round, it looked really protrusive like Gundam shoulders. Because I was not sculpting it with the body, so I wouldn't know how it looked. But I was pretty happy with those Gundam shoulders. And also, something else that I changed later on were the legs. So, I had something that looked like this, but there was something else that looked like it on the other side. And it had a middle muscle coming out. And it looked really strange to me. It always bothered me, but I wasn't really planning on changing it. Something else that got changed were like these sides, because it was like weirdly designed where I didn't change this, but it was like this, but it had like lines coming down and came across like that. And also these knee pads, they were like, let me bring it closer, they're basically flat. They didn't have like this angularity to them that I carved in. I think I could have done the knees a bit better, but I'm pretty happy with them. Another thing it didn't have, I was planning on leaving these out because I had a weird design on the the triceps. Let's see. And it didn't look really well. It wasn't as angular, said that wrong, angular, there we go, as I wanted it to be, or as thick. It didn't look like true muscles. And also I didn't have this separation, like this orange part that separates the blue from the orange. I didn't have that. But I was pretty happy with it, surprisingly. Maybe it's because I was sick of doing the custom. Because it was way longer than my previous customs, because those were like at max 1 week of work. And I didn't believe I had the patience, and I wanted to create that patience by doing this. So I was sick of him at that point, and I just wanted it to be over. But fortunately, I thought of asking one of my brothers to check him out. This is not the brother I work with. This is like another brother, because I got a good amount of them. And so I asked him, hey, you think any of this needs to be changed? And he gives a really insightful advice. He says, your shoulders need to be smaller, and your forearm things need to be smaller, because they're really protrusive. Like, yo, they do need to be smaller. And so, I get back to work. But I just don't, it's not that I just decided to change. I look at it, examine it, and realize, I don't like the legs and triceps on this guy. I believe I could do more. And so, I changed a lot of this guy. You'll see by the picture that the editor hopefully puts. So I get to work, I change it up. I add more clay, of course. His legs actually make the arms look proportional, because these arms are big. If you've watched the review of the Arkham Batman, he's usually stereotyped as having lunch lady arms, because his arms are like so big. It's just interesting. So I gotta give this guy thigh crushers. And now it comes to painting. If like the camera looks a bit different, it's because my stand, it kind of got messed up and I had to recenter it. So I'm broke, so I have to like put my phone on some stuff that's not a phone holder or anything like that. So if you guys are confused, that's what happened. Everything's alright, of course. And so how I paint this guy, me and my bro, we went to Ross and saw these cool acrylic paints, and we were looking for them because we want to make this figure. He's quite shiny, he wears metal. And we never worked with acrylic paint. So, let me get my hands in there. Let's see. I don't know if you want to see my hands. So, we decide that we're buying it, with the knowledge that we don't know. We watched a few videos about it, but we never really used it. We used this paint friendly thing. It was like a paint for like little statue dudes. That's what we've been using before, using acrylic paint. So it was like pre-liquefied. And so, to get to a point, we need a way to learn how to use this. But we were not going to start with this guy. So, this is where our test dummy comes in. And also, before I bring him in, we also had to test out this primer gloss. Okay. Meet the man, legend of him, meet the myth, legend in himself. This crappy Marvel legend. He's a bit too tall. I don't know why. Hopefully the camera doesn't break on me. The camera stand doesn't mess up. You're gonna have to squat right now. I'm not risking it. Okay. This guy. So why did I buy him? It wasn't originally to use him as a test dummy. I bought him because we were playing on a different custom. It might have been a custom Bane, and we bought him for the Hulk arm. We scrapped that custom idea. We might revisit it. I might revisit it as a single custom job. Or whatever, custom project. And so, this guy, he was our test dummy. You can tell he was really lobotomized. He has been through a lot of stuff. He's been gloss primed, painted with those acrylic paints, not markers. I don't know what I'm on. And also, I was testing out this way to like give my 97 Riverina a comic shade, like comic paint job. So he was also used for that. You can tell it really worked well on him because he's got some like nice muscle definition totally. And so yeah, he was our test project. Test project, not test project, test run. And so yeah, before we painted Gray Fox, we had to use him. And so how we painted Gray Fox, first we put on black primer on him, all over his body. And so that made the blue really easy to paint, because we wanted like a darkest blue, like this type. But for some reason, we didn't put gray primer on the areas that were orange. I mean, I kind of wanted this to look with the gray, where he's looking a bit shiny and like battle damaged, I guess. I don't know. Is a word for it. I can't think about it right now. It's late. But the orange was hard, so because black and orange don't really mix. So we had to layer that 4 times. And I'm fine with it because it kind of looks like a damaged effect. Could be better. Yeah. And don't worry, I didn't have to prime his body. That was my brother. If you guys were worried about me. And I forgot to mention this part. I put these dots on him because it's in his design. I just want to show it off to give myself a bit of credit. I'm joking. I just thought it'd be interesting. Yeah, some dots right there. And so yeah. Oh, I also painted the sword. Don't worry, I did some painting. And I'm going to tell you where I got that sword in the accessories section. Okay, accessories. There won't be much to talk about. But I also gotta mention how we got this sword in his hand. So Marvel Legends got this huge problem, which they got many problems, which I figured out in my years of watching Anthony Custom. When you put their sword in like any weapons in the hand of like a Marvel Legend, it usually causes paint chipping. So I had like this figure Bucky Cap, which it happened to. But not only is it like only for Marvel Legends, also for G.I. Joes. So this is a dude where we got the sword from. This guy. He's a really cool figure. I think you guys, customizers, should look into G.I. Joes. They did make really cool customs. But he has a problem with like, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, it's not that much with like these G.I. Joes, because I think they're actually good in like Marvel Legends. Some Marvel Legends are good, I got a few. But yeah, it's still a little problem. Maybe it's because I'm not putting in the sword right or whatever. But yeah, it's got a bit of a paint chipping problem. Hey, don't fall. So, we had to glue it in. I'm sorry. I made a lot of you disappointed. But yeah, me and my brother had to glue it in. It wasn't my idea though. It was his idea. He's on his computer right now watching YouTube. So he can't really hear me put the blame on him. And that's because these hands weren't even built for the sword, so it'd have like crazy paint chipping. And on the topic of gluing, you can fall. There you go. I had to glue a bunch of this clay parts onto him, so it wouldn't like come off randomly. Oh yeah. And so let me show you his hands. So he's got one holding hand, one fist hand, and he's got another fist hand. Oh, I just dropped it. For this hand. And so that's it for accessories. Okay, it's time for articulation. Okay, it's time to start with the head. let me push it back so you can see it better. He's on, his neck moves right over here, and he's got some shoulder flap that moves. So let me show you that. His head can go up this high, this low, including the neck movement. So his head doesn't go really low, it goes pretty high though. He's got some attitude held by the neck, shoulders. He's got some nice butterfly joints. And just to like let you guys know, he has a bit of paint chipping. It's not that much, but I'll get good at preventing that as I get more experience. His arms are on like this weird Yamaguchi joint where it moves like that. His shoulders can move on the ball joint in there. Arm twist. I don't know what this is called. Ball peg bend. So it's like it's more than 90. It's like an acute angle. Wrist turn. I need to go quicker on this. He's got a ballpoint in the wrist, bends like that. Wrist turn, diaphragm joint time. It goes that back with top one, this forward with the front one. Pretty good. This back with the ball joint too. That's nice. And this forward, the lower ball joint. Leg movement time, you can do the splits this far. It's kind of wonky because the belt wasn't made for this body. So his hips are really strange in movement because you got to deal with that belt. Legs go up this high. This back flares out a bit. Leg twist. Stops on that side for, wait, does it? Nope, it doesn't. It goes all the way around. Then like that, a lot more than 90. And his ankles, they're on like a ball peg, and they can like move around. They're a bit prevented by this getting brought down, because on the original figure, he's got like I don't know what, it's like, I'm really bad at words for some reason. He's got something over here that you just plug in. It's like it's to like cover up his shoes, but we connected it. So it's causing like a bit of prevention for his ankles to go up and stuff. But it does move on that ball joint. He's got a rocker. He's got a toe joint too. Does it go all the way? Yes, it does. Let's see how far it goes down. It goes down far, but that doesn't matter. Okay, articulation section done. Let's give him some aura posing. Okay, my personal favorite section to do, height comparison. Why? Because it's pretty easy to do. For Marvel Legends, we got Gambit. Oh shoot. So Gambit, he kind of like mocks him height. There you go. You guys can see them better. Put them like that. Yes, they're practically the same size besides Gambit's hair. Actually, no, they're not practically the same size. I don't know what I'm yapping about. G.I. Joe, the same dude. Now these guys, he's a little toy. Is he a little toy? No, they're the same size. Nice. So these guys, they're the same size. For McFarlane, we got the Yacht King himself, Azrael. You can't even see his head. That's how tall he is. if you guys don't know, McFarlane makes his figure in 7 inches, so they're not in the 6-inch scale. So they're taller than the usual figure size, which I believe is 6 inch. Yeah. And for Transformers, I got my, sorry guys. Got my personal favorite Transformer right over here. Got Torn. He's a little taller. So trying to balance him, but that kind of messes. Yeah. Sorry guys. A little taller. That's it for articulation. Okay guys, I did not mean articulation for the last section. Dang it! I did not mean articulation for the last section. I meant height comparison. So, if you like this video, feel free to like it. If you dislike this video, feel free to dislike it. I enjoy having views on my video, because it makes me feel like I accomplished something. And that's why I like making figures. But, yeah. So this guy, he was definitely the hardest figure I worked on so far. Sometimes he made me rage quit. I need to take a long break from him, because I was just not used to it. Sometimes he would even make me say bad no words. But in the end, I'm really happy with how he turned out. And the dude I gave it to, he seemed pretty happy about it, which made me happy. And I hope you guys are happy about it too, because this video is for you guys. Okay, goodbye guys.